Hi, Wilber, are you there?
Good evening, Miss. Hi, Miss. Good evening. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Pretty good, Miss. Pretty good, Miss. Excuse me to be a little late.
Don't worry, people is on vacation and probably they are just traveling around.
I admire you. I admire you. The people right now is on vacation, but I am working a lot. I am a hard worker right now.
That is a good point. There are some people that have to work still.
Are you are you on vacation, Miss?
Yes, I am on vacation from my work, but still university has not finished, so I keep on studying and all that.
You your to to take care of us.
I lost you for a minute. I think the connection is back. Ask me.
Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
Ask me again. I didn't hear you.
Excuse me, Miss. I didn't listen you.
What is the
The
question?
connection is.
Now it's better. It's better. What is the question you have?
I can. The Miss.
It's the connection. Don't worry. It can probably work now. What did you do today?
Hi, Miss.
You're back?
Excuse me, but my internet connection is not good.
No, not a problem. I totally understand. Um, Tell me, how was your day?
Miss, to be honest, it was hard. My day was hard because on October 16, I will have uh, I don't know how do you say auditory
Yes.
or auditory to auditory to all my process around the personal administration. And right now I am working in the admin in the administrative part of the battalion. I am working in the section number 1. Uh, you know what is the process? You know what is the process? Then that section develop or no?
No, no.
That section is develop all related with the personal administration of the battalion. Then in the October 16, we will have that auditory. That that kind of auditory required to prepare all the process. Normally we develop that kind of process, but we have to organize all the activities.
Yes, of course. And then they are going to be checking your process, what you have done.
Yes, miss.
Oh, I see. And
That's obviously that activity require a lot of work. Normally my schedule is until 5 p.m. But for instance, today I had to leave my work at at 6:30 because
well,
I thought I am so
hard worker,
what?
hard worker, or
No, when you have many things in your minds or you have a preoccupation.
yes, you
I
get
am.
worried.
Excuse me.
Worried.
Yes, miss. I am.
Worried.
I was worried because because I thought I'm not going to be in my online sections.
You were worried about this?
Yes, but only the life is possible if you try
Yes,
to do it.
you can do it. Well, Alejandro has joined us. Eh, Alejandro, can you hear us?
Yes, teacher. Good evening.
Okay, Wilder was sharing how was his day, and I don't know, how was your day, Alejandro?
Sorry, teacher.
How was your day?
That was good. I am in Bogota. I am in my
Oh,
holidays.
you're on vacation.
Yes, I was traveling in the last session. For that
Yes.
reason, I didn't Uh, I didn't, okay? I don't write in the last lesson.
Okay, don't worry. I sent an Skype and WhatsApp comment saying I could not do it because of the rain. Internet was terrible and because of the rain last week. So don't worry. We're going to replace the hour at the end. We add one more day, okay? So how is Bogota?
Okay, teacher.
How is Bogota?
Host? Do you know or do you know right in this city? Yes, of course.
I am from there.
Ah, really? Ah, no, I am in Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
In Kennedy, my mother live in. I don't know if you know. ¿Cuál es el barrio de aquí de Carvajal?
Oh, yes, of course. I used to live there.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes.
That's good.
Well, Bogota is hot in this right now. It's hot.
Okay.
Yes. What else? Well, I stay at home. Um, I don't know what else. I was visiting Piscilago the last week. I was in Piscilago with my wife.
Oh, that is great. Piscila was very delicious.
Yes, near to my partner Wilder.
Yes, you were near to Wilder. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember that Wilmer lived there. What else? No more, teacher. That's good. You know that in your house or at home, your mother cared you so long. You eat alone, food.
True.
I'm happy for
That's
that.
true. Next to your mom is something amazing. Your mom takes care of you so well. That's true. Okay. And how has been the university? How are you doing during this term, during this second, or for some activities is second activity at the university? How are you doing there? How do you do with English courses? So, Wilder, how do you do with your English classes at the university, the online book and all that?
With this kind of sessions in another subject, I understand that you are asking me about my classes,
All the other subjects, how are you doing?
well, actually, this morning I was in the basic one, session, but and basic group, yes, and that was good. Well, the subject was about to be, verb to be, but one of the most important things that I consider that it is important, the the things that no the kind of teaching the teacher had to teach. They are no the teacher are how do you say, well, they are speaking about one subject and we have to write on the computer, and so how to share our screen in order to my partners check that kind of words. And this kind of activity is I don't know, I like because this is good for enhance your grammar. I don't know the grammar, the right. How do you write one draft, so that is good for that. That was right. That was good for me. And I am through English as well. And so in this session, I am in. No, this is the intro English. I am in the basic 2 as well. So I know my partners have a high level or heavy level, and what else? The teacher taught about professions and jobs as well, and I know I was talking about the way of the teaching when we are going to pass the last semester. She talked about one exam that UNATs have to do, that students have to do to pass the career. I don't know how do you, what is the exam? I don't know if it's test or I forget that name. No, I forget that. But one of the most important activities in this exam or assessment is had to do write what they have to teach. No sé cómo decir dictado. They are talking about one subject and we have to write on the paper on the screen and very well. You have to do that well. That's it, teacher. Teacher is gone, yes?
I'm sorry, I left.
Yes, teacher. Okay, go ahead, teacher. What is, I don't know. What is the
I understand you're doing your subjects, you're developing your activities. That is great. What about you, Diego? How are you? How was your day? How was it? What did you do?
Hello. Good night. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, teacher. Hello, my partners. I was absent because I was working outside of Bogota, but now I'm here again. I would like to share with all of you, and I would like to know what are you talking about.
Oh, just everybody's joining, so we are just asking, how was your day? Did you today?
Okay, my day today was very, very, I don't know, exciting because I was having a rest for 3 days because
Oh, well, he left. Okay, I'm going to share with you what I have on my screen. You're going to be reading a few questions. They are personal questions. And there you are now. This is what you're going to
teacher, I was talking about one exam in the last, no, the another subject in basic, basic 2. I don't know, I think so. One exam that we had to do in the last semester in this career, and I don't know what is the name, test, I don't know, his test or TOEFL, or something like that. And in order to pass the career, finish this career, and they are saying to you, no, they are talking about that subject, and you have to write in the screen on your computer. This is one of the most important activity. I don't know if you had to do that in your career. Remember that?
As far as I know, well, I didn't take any of the English courses, but as far as I know, in order to graduate, I need to have an international certification. And I think for me, it's B2. But for you that are starting, it's going to be C1, as far as I know. So, yes, there are many international exams, so you will be able to do it. We're going to start working today with something I would like to share from you, with you, and and is this. So you're going to be able to see this. Do you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, teacher. But remember, I can see that because my cell phone broke.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, these are going to be the questions we are going to talk today about at the beginning of the session. But what you're doing at this moment is that you're going to ask your friends, or well, your partners in the session. You're going to take turns to ask and answer questions. And you're going to be asking and answer questions, and your answers should not be shorter than 1 minute. Uh, well, what you need to keep in mind is that those questions your answers have to be related to the questions. Okay? Uh, so if you want, at this moment, can you read those questions? And do you have any problem of misunderstanding, or do you want any clarification with any of the questions? Are they clear?
Yes, teacher, I got it, but I don't know what is the topic.
Oh, we are just going to talk. We are just going to talk about. So, Wilder, are you able to read the questions?
Yes, yes, Meet. I understood you are going to asking about the personal information. I understood that.
Yes, but I'm not going to be asking. It's you to your friends, okay? To the people in the chat.
Okay, Miss. Okay, Miss. I understood.
Perfect. So, do you want to
then-
start, Wilder?
Okay. I need to choose a partner to ask the first question.
Yes, the first or whatever question you want, and your friend, your partner, needs to spend 1 minute talking. I will say when to stop, okay?
Okay. I'm going to ask this question for Diego. Diego.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes?
Oh, okay. The first question, Miss, can you show me the screen because
Yes.
I lost it.
So you're Wilder, Juan Sebastián, hello Juan, you're right, Diego and Alejandro. And
The first question is what free time activity do you most enjoy?
Okay, activity. I don't know, maybe surfing on the internet. I love studying languages. Some months ago, I was studying Portuguese. I have a good level in English, I think so. And I don't know, other activity I like is the last week, my wife gave me a drone, to fly. So I'm starting to fly it. So I think it's very important. I like to play with my drone. This is a free, very important free activity for me.
Can you mention why?
I don't know. I think it's very important because my girl, my daughter, can play with me, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Okay, great. Stop. Very good job. So just spend a minute. Make sure that you use the why. It helps you a lot to go farther. It's your turn to ask the next question. Choose a partner in the group and ask.
Do I have to ask for my partners?
Yes.
Okay, can you remember the names? I'm sorry.
Juan, oh, all of you, great. Erlene is here, Diego, and Juan.
Okay, let me see the questions. Let me choose one. Okay, for Juan, the first question is, do you think you spend too much time working or studying? Why or why not?
Estaba esperando, ¿no? Is it there? Is it there? The Juan, are you there? Can you listen to the question?
Oh, I don't know, maybe other friend who wants to answer the question.
Tony. Um, Good evening, classmate and teacher. I'm having problems with my Wi-Fi connection. So let me know if you are asking me one question.
Juan, good night.
Good night. Good evening.
Good evening, yes. Okay, my question for you is the third one. Do you think you spend too much time working or studying? Why or why not?
Hmm. I think I love too much study because I want to learn every day something more than that I know today. So I choose study.
Juan, you have to spend 1 minute talking.
Oh, so sorry. I didn't listen the rule. So okay, my answer is the same. I prefer to study because every day I want to learn something else that I know today. I love very much reading. I love very much understand um, things about, for example, artists. I want to know what are the feelings or what kind of feelings have the artist at the time to bring us one I don't know, maybe one performance or one song or maybe one masterpiece. Those kind of things is that I love to study, right? Or
Okay.
something more?
No, it is good.
Oh, okay.
So, Juan, it's your turn to ask any person in the group any of the questions we have not used before. We have only used the number 1.
But let me see the screen, please.
Cannot see it?
Right. Thank you very much. So, Erling, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Erling, my question is, I can't see the screen, teacher.
Oh? Let's see. Go back. Now?
No, not yet. No, not yet. Right. My question for you is, have you celebrated anything recently? How?
Well, to be honest, not really. I mean, I'm spending too much time working and studying that I don't really have the time to celebrate. Um, um,
Can you remember of your last celebration?
my last celebration. Well, yeah, I can remember that. My last celebration was like at the beginning of the year. Basically, we were celebrating that a person was having like a graduation or something like that. It was a friend of us, a friend of mine, and a friend of my wife. So basically, we went to different parts of. We went to a downtown, and in downtown we were like having like a really great dinner with fish and all those stuff. And it was a really good celebration. Although celebration like nearby, like for example, recently, like last week or last month. No, that's the closest one that I remember. That it was at the beginning of the year. That's the only thing that I remember in this moment.
Okay, that's great.
All right.
So you need more time to celebrate early.
Yeah. I think I need to.
Okay, Erlin, ask any of the other questions to your friends in the chat.
Okay, let me go ahead. So let's ask. Let me check. Alejandro, if you could travel to one country in the world, where would you go and why?
Okay, good evening, Erlin. Good to see you. Nice to meet you, Alejandro Franco. I'm here in Bogota. The last 2 years, no, 2 years ago, I was in Cancun, Mexico. So that was my honeymoon with my wife. So that was exciting. That was beautiful. I would like to go back. Because it's really good. I don't know, that city was found in order to send tourism. This city is younger than any cities in here in Colombia. That city has around 30 years. I would like to go back there because I have a lot of activities to do.
Okay. Thank you so much for your sharings. Did all of you in the class ask a question? If someone is missing, say me. No, it seems everybody. Okay. Some of you had a few trouble giving arguments through an extent of a minute. Sometimes it is difficult because we are thinking of real or to be honest, to say what it really happened. And if you notice, those questions were taken from an international exam that is called the CAE, or some people in Spanish say the CAE. That is an advanced exam of Cambridge. And the idea with this is for you just to speak. The goal is that you speak for around 2 minutes, interviewing one person and another. I decided to give you this small introduction today. If you notice at the beginning, the first questions are personal information, just to meet the person you are talking with, I'm sorry. And then you start asking more deep questions. This interview is supposed to be in pairs, and then you have time to ask and answer questions. So I took the time to show these short questions so you will be able to get familiarized to what is going to be our final test. We have been discussing, so I give a question and you give your points and you listen to your friends and you keep on giving arguments. And another part is to select and then talk about it for a minute. So little by little, we are going to get into different type of ways international exams have, so you get a little bit familiarized with it. Have you ever taken any international exam? Let's start with here. Wilder, have you taken any international exam until now? Or are you thinking on presenting an international exam?
Miss, to be honest, the American language course, ALCPT I took the last year I took an ALCPT, American language course, and 1 month or 2 months ago, I took the ECL with the American missions. You know, like I told you, the first time we have the opportunity to talk.
Yes.
I think that kind of test, it's so different with the rest of the international test. For instance, because if you take an IELTS test, excuse me, a TOEFL test, for instance, that test is going to evaluate all the skill in English. But the difference with ECLs, in that kind of test, you only that test evaluate you only two abilities: the listening and comprehension and grammar. But the speaking no. That was those were the only two kind of tests I have to take.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope that after these sessions and probably after you travel, I know your speaking is going to be more fluent, and you will be able to take national tests. That is the idea, that you start getting ready little by little. Okay, what about you, Erling? Have you taken any international exam?
International exam, not yet. Basically, I did the TOEIC. Well, I don't know if that's an international exam. I guess it is. I have no idea. I don't remember well. And also, I did MET. Well, that's it. I'm in this moment trying to get with the TOEFL. That's the most important part in this moment. That's what I'm trying to do in this moment. But well, it's all a process. I mean, I haven't done it, but I'm still working and practicing for it. That's basically what I'm doing.
Okay, yes, that's the goal, to achieve any IELTS or TOEFL, or what this one I show you, the CAE, which is the next after the FCE or the first certificate. mm, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. You need to be accepting the challenge and just go with it. That's true, Erlene. Diego, have you taken any international exam? Have you faced the fear of an international exam?
No, teacher. I have presented a lot of kind of questions, placement test, but internationals, no, I didn't, or I haven't. I think it would be a good idea because it's very important in order to study internationally, or I don't know, even in this university, I think it's important taking that kind of questions. But I would like.
Okay, great, Diego. So far you have not watched or see any videos or something or getting into the material of an international exam or facing the questions an international exam has? No yet.
Excuse me, teacher, I didn't understand you.
So you have not get familiarized with an international exam yet. No? No knowledge of international exam.
No, teacher.
Okay. Okay, don't worry. And what about Alejandro? Have you presented an international exam or have you read about them? Have you listened about them?
No, teacher, I have seen any kind of assessment before, but I know that Wilder said that this assessment is about ICPT in the Colombian forces. National police as well have this kind of exam or test. I was watching videos on YouTube about that. It was about evaluate or assess the listening and grammar. I think so. But will there talk about that assessment?
Okay, Alejandro. And what about you, Juan? Have you taken any international exam? Have you had that experience? Juan, I know you just came back. Can you listen to me? Okay. Yeah. Have you taken any international exam, Juan?
Teacher, I'm so sorry. I'm having a lot of problems with my Wi-Fi connection. I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me?
No, we cannot see you, but we hear you very well.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, no, I haven't. I haven't took an international exam. I really need it because, how I told you the last week, I want to take an interview to work in a school, and I need to I need to do my exam, the college exam. I need an interview in English, and I have to present one exam, maybe TOEFL or to be honest, I don't know. I don't know, some just TOEFL. I don't know something else. I really need it, but I have time to present that. If I can work with them, I have to 2019 June to present my exam, but I really haven't took my international exam.
Okay. Well, I'm going to explain all of you generally. Probably with the people that have already know information, you can just give me a hand with this. Um, there are different type of international exams. When we talk about TOEFL and we talk about IELTS, they are two different exams, but those are internationally accepted. One is British and the other one is American. TOEFL being one of the American English, and IELTS is more British. When I say British, it's about the speaking, the way they write, the way they read, the readings. You're going to find a lot of vocabulary and phrasal verbs and words, technical words that are more used into British English rather than TOEFL. Anyhow, those are the highest international exams in English you can take. There are others that are taken by Cambridge, and in the level of IELTS and TOEFL, you can see and look for the CAI, the CAI, which goes to C1, and below the FCE, that goes to B2, and then goes the PET, the CAT, and I think there are some others for babies and kids. So the Cambridge exams are differentiated per levels. IELTS and TOEFL, they are not. They are general English, and they give you a percentage. Universities in the United States ask you for this requirement to be accepted, for example. Or when you're going to study a specialization or a master, you need this degree. Or there are some job positions to be teacher, English teacher or Spanish teacher on the United States or in other countries, and they ask you for a minimum level of the English. In fact, ICFES has some open scholarships, becas, scholarships for teachers. So you need to have a minimum band in IELTS or TOEFL or an international exam. Plus, many schools or institutions like SENA, if you want to work with them, you need to have the degree, a bachelor's degree, and a certificate of your English level, minimum B2. So, having an international exam certificate gives you a very well position into your professional, into your curriculum and into the professional market. So you have more advantage among others, and it will give you a lot of opportunities. All of you already know. So based on that, we're talking now exams and languages. Can you say at this moment how fluent? Let's not say I am A1, B1, but how fluent do you feel in the four skills in the English language? The four skills are reading, writing, listening, speaking. So how do you feel in those levels, and what do you think is going to help you, or what is your commitment to improve, to go beyond? So let's see, let's start with Alejandro. What is your level in the skills, and what is your commitment to go to the highest level?
Well, teacher, I consider that listening, but in this country, the listening, I feel that's good. I don't know. Well, I question, teacher. I don't know if you have seen the C1 level in this country. I don't know. I get a minimum B2, but I don't know if you have seen C1 level. So that is the standard teacher, the standard level that we can get. What else? And I feel the worst skill is the write. I am writing something. I am thinking, what else? I don't know how to write that. Something like that.
Do you think is going to help you improve this writing, or what is going to be your commitment to your writing?
Yes, teacher.
So what do you think is going to help you? What can help you in writing?
In writing, yes, about the write something. But when I was writing in the last semester, I have to draft to make a draft. So that was a low score about that subject. So I need to improve that. Yes.
And what is, as I said, what are you going to do to improve?
Okay. I will listen about to enhance that kind of skill. We have to read a lot. So I start to read several books, like no short books, like American Story for the A2 students that manage a lot of words or vocabulary that is good for enhance my my ability. That's ability.
Okay, yes, that's the best way. Reading and reading is going to help you writing, but also listening. Listening to good conversations and reading what the conversation is about is going to help you a lot to write. Don't worry, writing is, as in Spanish, the one of the last skills we develop. Diego, tell me about you. What is your level in the skills? What do you feel is your English level in your core skills?
I think my writing is good. My speaking. I have a very extensive vocabulary, but as my partner said, I think the most difficult thing is the listening because we have listened to the people all the time, all our life in Spanish. So it's difficult when we start to study English because it's not common for us. The thing I do to improve my listening or my commitment, excuse me. For example, I set my TV in order to watch all the movies in English, the closed caption in English. With my daughter, we used to watch videos in English, cartoons, for example, Peppa. Everything what my daughter likes, in order to catch everything as much words as possible.
But that is great. You're looking for something to improve and listening. The thing is that sometimes we just read and we learn the grammar and we just keep on accumulating vocabulary, but we do not try to listen. The strategies you're using are perfect, and with your support of your daughter, you're going to do great. What about you, Erlin? What is that you're doing to improve? And what is the skill you think you need to improve the most?
Um, I think the skill that I need to improve is my reading part. Well, to be honest, I need to improve all of them. Uh, I think a little bit my reading part because uh, I need to focus. I need to focus a little bit on comprehension of the text, which is really important. And of course, listening. What I'm doing basically to improve that, maybe the reading comprehension is basically like making a lot of reading, and trying to identify, like for example, the main idea, like for example, what's the author's purpose. Try to get those clear, so that I can I get the situation and all the information. That's what I'm thinking in this moment that I need to improve. Of course I know I need to improve my speaking skills, because I need a lot of things to learn. I need to improve my listening skills. But the one that I find, I mean, that I say, hey, you need to improve a lot your skills is on reading part. Well, I already told the rest, but that's basically the thing.
You're right. It is not only to know to read, but what is deep down on the reading. What is it that the reading wants to tell us? And sometimes we are not able to consume, like to digest everything we are reading, and it's true. Uh, Now that you're a teacher, can you and you are studying virtually, what do you think is the best place to learn the language? In the classroom, through virtual sessions, by your own? What is it the best way, Diego, Erling, that you find to learn the language?
I don't have a specific place. The classroom is good, but um, when you're in the classroom, you're like thinking in other things, doing other stuff, not paying attention on what the teacher is saying. When you're doing on your own, I think you have like more things to learn, because you're challenging yourself. You're challenging yourself. Like for example, listening to music is going to improve your listening skills. Like for example, in a call center, that I did before, is to be able to improve your speaking test, your speaking skills. For example, reading a lot of literature is going to help you out to improve your reading comprehension part. And I think the place, I mean, it doesn't matter the place, but the idea is that you receive and you try opportunities, and try to take advantage of the opportunity that give you the place the where you are. For example, once I was on the beach and I have no idea that I was supposed to practice English that day, but suddenly I saw like two North Americans, they were speaking, and hey, and then 1 minute after I was speaking with them, and that was a really great opportunity to speak, and that was a really great opportunity to practice my English. It was like, I mean, that's just a simple example, just for saying you can go ahead and you can practice. I mean, whatever you want. And that's what I think.
So you think whatever, but what matters is the intention. That
Exactly, that's correct.
Okay. What do you think, Diego? Is it easy to study virtual, or is it better to be in the classroom or on your own?
I think all of them are useful. It depends the intentions you have to study and to learn. For example, I learned to speak English by myself some years ago, alone, but I think it's also important to interact with other people. Is to say, it's very nice study alone, and after that practicing with other people.
Okay. So you
All,
think that,
all of them are very important for our learning.
yes, I had that question after Erling said you study by your own, but language needs interaction. And who tells you if you're right or not? Hmm. What a question. Like you say, yes, I am right. I am saying it, but probably you're not. So until what point is it good to study on your own? And when do you need to go with a teacher, with a student, or with another person to help you a little bit? What is your perspective, Alejandro? And then I know Erling can answer this question I'm doing. Think about it. Alejandro, what is your opinion about it?
Teacher, it depends. If you choose both environments, virtual and presential, I don't know if I can say that. I was learning the last university. Um, I was in the classroom. I feel good when we are talking together one subject. We are talking in this moment. So I feel I agree with Hilder. It depends if you focus on in one skill. If you like improve listening, it is good to to learn English in this kind of environments. But if you need to learn more about vocabulary, you have to read a lot. So that's it.
Yes, Alejandro, I agree with you. It is not presential, it is face to face or in person.
Okay, teacher.
So, Erling, do you have an answer for this? What is your opinion?
Could you please repeat that question? I'm sorry, so I can think a little bit.
You said that it is good to study by your own, but until what point is it good to study only by your own? Like you don't know who gives you feedback, or if you're doing great, you think you're doing great and you're not. So until what point is it good to study by your own or individual?
Okay. There is a moment and there is a point when you're going to feel like, hey, I mean, let's say that you're sitting on your own and you're just listening to music. That's good. I mean, you're listening to pronunciation, you're repeating what the song says, and you're trying to do it phonetically, but you don't have nobody to tell you, hey, this is the way you should do it. I think I don't know how to answer that, but until what point? Until the point you need it. I think it's until you need it. Why? Because there is a methodology that somebody showed me that it was, hey, first you need to learn how to speak. It's like a baby. You need to learn how to speak first, and then when you learn how to speak, then you are going to learn how to write, and then you are going to learn the rules. So basically, that's something that I have in mind. If you are going to learn something, first of all, try to learn until you know that you're really good, or I mean, at least you're doing well on what you're doing on your speaking skills, because that's the first thing you need to know. Why? Because then it's going to be easier to understand the grammar part, because the grammar part come after the speaking part. Okay, you cannot learn first of all grammar and then you're going to learn speaking. No, you first of all have to learn speaking and then you have to learn grammar. It's like a baby. And for example, I use the example of my daughter. When my daughter start talking, every day I say, hey, daddy, 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 daddy. And then one day she said, daddy. All right, my God, she did it. She did it. That's way. And then now that she's like, for example, in elementary school, I'm teaching her how to write daddy. That's basically the foundations. That's what I'm thinking. about the topic.
Okay, your arguments are kind of solid. That what you said is based on a theory, on an approach, and theoretically is called the natural approach. The natural approach says that people learn whatever language from as they learn their native language. So we learned the Spanish just by listening, 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 and then suddenly we started talking. And then after we talk and we use and we learn that is not rompido, that is not, well, those things that we do, then they tell us it is not rompido, it is roto, and later on you learn a little bit of grammar and you started at a school, and when you start in the school is when you learn grammar, when you learn what is a subject, a verb, a noun, and you started writing and constructing sentences. So your arguments are very solid on in that. Wilder, do you think is it better to learn English in a school, like in a classroom, virtual classes, individual, like by your own? How do you learn the best, Wilder?
Miss, I think both process are good. Uh, depends the person who depends of person to take advantage of that process. For instance, I think the individual English learning process is so good because that is my personal my principal aspect to study. For instance, let me tell you something about when I started to study English. When I was in the operation area, I study myself, but obviously I had a lot of doubt. Additionally, excuse me, I didn't have with an internet connection to develop all the doubts. In that in that in that moment, obviously you feel you are not learning anything. When I return to my house, for instance, to the when where I had an internet connection, actually I look for all the doubt, but the all both process are interesting and important for me. The classroom is good because if you have a doubt, the teacher is going to give you the answer, and you have more opportunities to talk with other people. Then I agree with with early
Okay.
when he said the English learning process is like a baby. Obviously, because if you are in a class, you are going to have more chances to practice it. But until what point we must study? I think all the time is good to study alone because 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 I think I share that that kind of learning.
Okay, it's your personal experience. It's what
Yeah,
you live and what you did.
and I
It's
like
very,
so much.
it's very interesting. Okay, now what do you prefer, all of you? Learning, do you think is it the same or is there any disadvantage from learning a language from a known, if you had a teacher that is not native, a language speaker, like me, for example, or like any of your teachers in the classroom? Is it better to have an English native speaker or Is it the same to have a Spanish speaker that knows English and teaches English? What's your opinion?
Uh,
You said A.
Miss,
Okay.
I'm gonna. For me, I think it's better an excuse me, a Latin teacher, no native teacher. Why? Because the native English don't know how is the process to learn that language. Uh, so the Latin or the Colombian, in our case, the Colombian teacher, uh, they know how is the process to learn the English. Then the methodology they are going to use is better. But I had a personal experience with an American teacher in the Army Aviation School, because also they speak excellent, so good. But if when we have doubt, they don't then didn't know how to explain you, because in our language we know different contexts of the word, and the American teacher don't know how to explain you that kind of doubt. He explained that he understand that he know in your country, but in our country obviously is different. Then in my personal opinion, it's better a Colombian teacher.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it is easier because it's going to understand your question from your culture. That's true. What about you, Diego? What do you think? Is it better a native speaker or a Colombian or Latin speaker for you to learn English?
Um, what can I say? Is I would like to have a Colombian teacher, but who may be a teacher who had lived abroad for a long time. And because she used to say, I think I can understand them easily, and they are coming from a lot of experience, a lot of vocabulary. I don't know. Um, for starting, it's good a Colombian teacher, a Latin teacher. When after a long time, when we have a high level, we had to improve with foreign teachers who are native from other countries.
Okay, that's a good option, Diego. Start with a non-native and then move to a native one. It's a good option.
Yes. Yes.
It's not going to happen what Wilder lived, because he was like trying to learn but not able to receive what he wanted. Do you agree with Diego or with Wilder, Erling, or what's your personal opinion? Yes, Erling. What's your
Okay.
personal opinion?
I disagree. Uh, Due to an experience that happened to a student of mine. When he was in third grade, he went to United States, and he had an aunt that she spoke English and Spanish also, but he didn't know she spoke Spanish. Family made him made him think English, so he needs to do everything to try to learn. And 2 months or 3 months, he was already speaking. Because, I mean, and she was like all the time speaking. She want to, if you want to eat, said food. If you want to eat, and she all the time. It was a kid. It was like, I guess 7, and later on he had his English fluent. Then the end started to speak in Spanish. And in that time, he said, "What you spoke in Spanish, and you didn't tell me anything?" Yeah, yes, because I wanted you to learn. And for my personal opinion, I think a native teacher, a native American, but your process is going to be fine. You gotta do and you gotta learn what they do. I mean, how they are going to teach. And it's better if you listen, for example, the pronunciation, like they're repeating all the time, like they are correcting. I think, well, for my personal opinion, better if native language teacher.
Okay, well, in that sense, you're right. My husband had the same experience and he learned. Uh, but I think also the context influences. If you are studying in Colombia with a lot Latin students and it is just a class, it is different from going to a city or a place where everybody is speaking English, or if I mean, like, if it is a house where you don't go out and only one person is speaking to you all the time English, it is going to be easier because it's like forcing you. But then if you're in the school and your friend next speaks Spanish and the one here speaks Spanish, uh, then I've seen in the school I work, I've seen these kids that they know the teachers do not speak Spanish, they make fun of the teachers too much. So I don't know, but they learned a lot. They learned a lot. Uh, Alejandro, what's your opinion about this? Native with experience, no-native but with a lot of experience traveling abroad, as Diego said, or a non-native teacher and then a native. How is it for you? What's your personal opinion, Alejandro?
Teacher, I agree with my partners. My partners told everything. And my personal opinion, I consider if I am in the beginner, it is good native teachers. But if you are in the high level, like B1, B2, it is good to practice or learn in the classes with foreign teachers. And well, I have in a class experience. One fellow told about he get the career and go to the United States, and he realized that he didn't understand anything, talking as something that he didn't understand anything for everybody. So he realized for 5 months to understand very well the language. So that was a good experience because, well, I get the career, but I don't know if I good. My English level is good. I don't know. So it is important to go to and those all those environments in order to realize if you are good in this kind of language. That's it, teacher.
That's true. With this, you measure yourself. Am I able or am I not able? Or am I capable to handle a conversation? It's true. And a native teacher gives you this opportunity. If you don't have one, then travel outside, go abroad, and you'll find experience. Well, there are many things to talk about learning languages, but the main point, I think you already mentioned, is to have the interest and the will to learn. And all of you have them. And I know for sure you're going to keep on improving. I will be sharing with you a video on Skype. I will leave the link. It will be today, so probably today or tomorrow you can watch it. And we are going to discuss and have some questions on the next session about the video. So I don't know if you have any general comments to end up our session, to say something about learning languages. Do you think is it important? I think it is for you. So no comments? Okay, we're good. And then, well, nice to see you today. I really like to listen to you. You're improving a lot. And see you on Thursday at 8. Bye.
Okay, Miss.